This is the new DS4, and we're going to tell you what it is, we're going to show you around the outside and the inside, we're going to explain what kind of rivals it's up against as well. But before all that, if you want to save more than £2,000 off any other DS product that's available right now, go to whatcar.com. Just click on the link at the top of the screen and you can go straight to our deals page. And make sure you're subscribed to our channel as well for lots more new car reviews and reveals. So the DS4 is the fourth standalone model to come from DS, which if you remember used to be part of Citroën, but became a brand in its own right in 2014. And this follows on from the DS3 Crossback, the DS7 Crossback, and also the DS9. But as the name suggests, it does slot in between the 3 and the 7, but it isn't an SUV. It is instead, DS says, a premium hatchback, which means it's a rival for cars like the BMW 1 Series, the Audi A3, and the Mercedes A-Class. But at 1.47 m, it is a bit taller than those cars. So the appearance and the stance does have a little bit of SUV going on with it. And it also has a sloping roofline at the back of the car, which means it's quite similar to a BMW X2 in that regard. So basically, it will straddle quite a few different categories and therefore be up against quite a lot of rivals. And while DS is keen to push itself as a premium brand, it will also inevitably be up against mainstream rivals like the VW Golf, the Seat Leon, and the Skoda Octavia. There's a few different styling features to point out on the DS4, like these flush chrome door handles, which either pop out as you approach the car with the key, or you can simply push them in to get them out as well. There's also this scale effect on the rear LED lights. And the daytime running lights at the front have 150 LED lights between them. And the main headlights have some colour which appears when you start and stop the car. Grey metallic paint comes as standard, and if you want a different colour like this, then you'll need to pay extra. As for the alloys, you get 17-inch alloys on the entry-level trim, whereas everything else gets 19-inch alloys. And you do have the option of paying extra to get 20-inch alloys as well. There are three main choices of DS4, and then depending which style you go for, there are some trim levels to choose from as well. So you can get a standard DS4 with a choice of 3 trim levels. Or you can go for this DS4 Cross, which gets you some mild off-road styling, including these roof bars and black bits of trim, and you have a choice of 2 trim levels. DS thinks most buyers in the UK are going to go for the third choice of DS4, and that is a Performance Line version, which you can get as a Performance Line or Performance Line Plus. But whichever one of those you go for, you get similar styling tweaks which make it look a bit different to the other DS4 trims that are available. So that includes some black trim on the grille and the window surrounds, as well as some extra badges around the car too. Inside you get an Alcantara interior with gold stitching and a bit of forged carbon on the steering wheel as well. Whichever trim you go for, you're going to get a DS4 interior that in some ways is similar to what we've already seen with DS, but also has some new bits thrown in as well. So the similarities are that there's quite a lot of diamond motifs around this interior, so particularly for the buttons and the switch gear and some of the design here and there. And it's all been quite nicely integrated into the design as well in terms of where the buttons are. So you've got these window controls up on the door here, you've got these subtle buttons on the dashboard as well. And actually all these materials feel really good quality. So it's nice soft touch on the dash, and this leather is really nice, but what a shame that you're not going to be able to get this nice bright colour on UK cars, unfortunately. Now, in terms of tech, every DS4 is going to get a 10-inch touchscreen infotainment system and a fully digital driver display, and both those things have been updated from what DS has offered before. So this is the latest tech, new tech for the brand. What also is new is this smaller touchscreen down here on the center console. So it's a 5-inch screen which essentially acts as a trackpad. So you press onto it and it gives you the ability to control the touchscreen infotainment system, with the idea being that it's just a bit easier having the function to do that while you drive. And if you're using the navigation, you can also write in your postcode or the destination that you need to get to on this screen as well. And it works okay. It's good having that option as well as having the touchscreen itself, but a simple rotary dial would have done this job even better. So maybe they should have just gone for that instead. But generally, this does seem like a pretty decent interior on the face of it. The materials do feel quite nice. If there is anything that lets it down a little bit, it's some of these plastics which don't feel especially plush. And another annoyance is that the climate controls are still mostly hidden on the touchscreen infotainment system. So you have got a shortcut button to get to it, but you still got to prod the screen when you just want to make it colder or warmer, which is a shame. But quality-wise, pretty impressive. Space in the back is okay. I'm just under 6 foot. The driver's seat's in my driving position, and I can fit in here with a bit of space above my head and a bit of leg room as well. It's not amazingly spacious, so something like the Seat Leon and the Skoda Octavia are much more accommodating for rear seat passengers, but then they are particularly big examples in this class. So the DS4 isn't terrible, but it doesn't really stand out either. And also, if you are worried looking at that slight sloping roofline on the outside, then it doesn't seem to impact on space that much from back here. The DS4 gets a 430 litre boot, which, sure, if you compare it to out-and-out SUVs, isn't the biggest around, but in the family car class, that is very good indeed. And you can see it's got a big, deep, open space back here, and the only problem might be that it's got quite a big loading lip here, but otherwise, good boot. Tech highlights include a voice command system called Iris, and I wonder where they got inspiration for that name from. There's also an active scan suspension setup, which scans the road ahead between a distance of 5 metres and 25 metres, and it alters the suspension, making it firmer or softer depending on what's needed. That was something first used in the DS7 Crossback. There's also a head-up display, and you can get night vision as well. The DS4 is also set to gain DS Drive Assist 2.0, which is the brand's latest driving assist function. And that includes the ability to overtake vehicles, as well as the standard adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist. But that's coming a bit further down the line for the car. What you will get at launch is a choice of engines. There's going to be 3 petrols, 1 diesel and 1 plug-in hybrid. And DS also says that in the future, this car might be able to go fully electric. And actually by 2024, DS has said it will be EV only anyway. Full pricing is yet to be announced, but DS has said the range will start around £25,000 for the cheapest model, rising to £41,000 for the range-topping plug-in hybrid version. So that definitely doesn't look like a bargain compared to the likes of the Leon and the Golf, and it's unlikely to undercut its premium German rivals significantly either. But what do you think? Would you buy this DS4 over an Audi A3 or Mercedes A-Class? Let us know in the comments below. The car is available in the UK from November this year, and if you want to see our full review, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And don't forget, go to whatcar.com to get a great saving on your next car.